You know, my friends, within that bottle there is a juice. Look at it, and you're going to say, Leggy, you are stating the blindingly obvious. All right, I can't have am, aren't I? But I need to explain the juice in Invictus, because then once you get a, pardon the pun, once you get a handle on this one, the whole of that makes sense. Okay, but I do need to explain this juice to you. But before that, before we get all serious and fragrance reviewing, come here. A massive warm welcome to a crazy John Legg fragrance review. This channel isn't monetized. I am no professional, trust me. I'm just a guy who wears fragrances all the time. I have a massive collection of fragrances. I want to share them all with you. Yeah, you, to inspire you to wear a good fragrance every day. Because my guarantee to you, a Leggy guarantee, is that you'll have so much better a day if you wear a good fragrance. All right, so where were we? Invictus. Let me try and explain. The juice in this bottle, my friends, has an energy to it. And that energy I can best describe as timeless, relentless, sexy, youthful, and funful. 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 I don't know where I get this stuff from. I don't actually know if funful is a word, but now it's on the internet. It's a thing, isn't it? So that fragrance, Invictus, my friends, the original Invictus, starts it all, and it has an energy. And that, once you get a grip of the fact that Invictus is all about a relentless energy, then all of those Invicti, because that's the plural of Invictus. You can't say Invictus is. You have to say Invicti. Once you've got a handle on the fact that this is all about energy and fun, you get the whole of that. So let me quickly, we're not actually going to review Invictus, but I need to explain this one and a few others to get to the one that we're going to review. So the original Invictus, you've got that gorgeous sort of fruity start, a salty sea air sort of breeze, and then the sweet woods and a bit of oak moss at the bottom. That, my friends, is gorgeous. That's where Invictus starts. And then, my friends, you've got other Invicti. What about, for example, and I only have a sample of this one, Invictus Legend, or Legend as they say. Now, I can talk to you about the Maison Alhambra, and I can talk to you about the Fragrance World, okay, because those are two fantastic versions of it. But basically, if I was to explain to you what Invictus Legend is all about, there. Invictus goes on holiday, but he doesn't take his bubblegum with him. He's just on holiday. And trust me, while he's on holiday, he's still got that energy. He's not lounging by the pool. He's running on the beach, okay? And you get that sort of tropicalness about it, and it's an absolutely gorgeous take on Invictus. But then Invictus works out, okay? So he goes to the gym. That Invictus Platinum, that, my friends, is Invictus pumping iron. That is Invictus on steroids. That is Invictus with energy upped and upped to the next level and beyond. Okay, that, my friends, is a slightly minty version with some gorgeous sweet sharp woods in that one. That is Invictus working out. But you know what? As Invictus goes through his life, he does have the occasions where he has to just reduce the energy, never lose the energy, but just reduce it for maybe a serious occasion. Maybe he's got a job interview, or maybe he's got to go to some official event like a funeral or something. That, my friends, and I can't show you the original because I don't have one, because Paco Rabanne said, no, we don't going to do it anymore. Invictus Intense. Well, I can tell you about the Invicto Fragrance World Intense. That, my friends, is an incredible version. Okay, this is rich, this is gorgeous, this is Invictus with his energy just reduced but not gone, and then there's a slightly boozy, very rich. That is classy Invictus. That's for the occasions where you've just got to be a little bit serious, okay? And Invictus has something going on in his life where he just has to be a little bit serious. Now, Then, my friends, you have the occasions where Invictus decides to try something a little bit dark in his life. Invictus Victory. Now, I sprayed this earlier. Oh boy. This, my friends, still has that relentless energy, but this is an energy which is a dark kind of energy. Add a ton of amber, add a lot of incense, and add some creamy vanilla, and Invictus is having a dark part of his life, but he still has that relentless energy. And then after that comes Invictus Victory Elixir. Okay, now I think Invictus, while he's having a dark part of his life, I think Invictus meets the love of his life, okay? Because Invictus Victory Elixir is everything that victory is, but then there's a sweet, almost fruity, very elixir kind of vibe over the top. And I think he's met the love of his life, and he's found a girl, and he's going to settle down with this girl. And the girl brings out the sweetness in him, okay? And then, now I'm still on the fence with this one. I've had it for a long time. I've used more than 100 ml, so I obviously like it. But I still am on the fence with this one. I still don't quite know what to think of Invictus perfume. And the only thing I can say is maybe with the love of his life that he found with Victory Elixir, maybe they've had a baby. Because the crazy thing is, this one, it's a gorgeous scent, but all I get is kind of hospital vibes. I get that sort of antibacterial sort of, well, they call it black soap, Packer & Pan call it black soap in this one, Invictus perfume. And I say I've worn it an awful lot, and people always tell me I smell amazing, but for me personally, I still haven't quite got to the point where this is an absolute passion. It's a like, not a love yet, and I'm still on the fence. But you know what? You're not here for that. You're here for me to tell you about Fragrance World's Victory Invicto Victorious. This one here. Now, I'm going to tell you something from the start. I have clones. I have Pandora Scents clones. I have Mason Alhambra Scents. Sorry, Mason Alhambra Scents. Come on, son. I have Mason Alhambras and I have Fragrance Worlds. Now, if you would like me to tell you, as a non-professional guy who has worn these an awful lot, in fact, in terms of the Fragrance World, the Invicto, this is either my third or my fourth bottle. Honestly, my friends, I can tell you honestly that of all of the different clones of the Invicti, Fragrance World, I've got it right. Okay, when I finish my Mason Alhambra bottles or my Pandora Scents, I don't replace them, honestly. But when I finish a Fragrance World bottle, it gets replaced. Now, they're all under £20. The one we're going to discuss this evening eventually is £18. They're all around about sort of, the original Invicto, Fragrance World here in the UK, we can get that for £14.50 delivered. That is incredible. I mean, I say third or fourth bottle of that one, I cannot get enough of that one. But if you would like my honest opinion, Fragrance World's Invicto, whichever one it is, whether it's the Legend, whether it's the Victory Elixir, whether it's the original Invicto, or whether it's this one here that we're going to discuss eventually, Fragrance World have put a lot of effort into it. And whereas with the Mason Alhambras, there's a little bit of sort of nasty alcohol or chemical to go through at the start, with the Fragrance World, they scarcely need macerating, okay? They are straight into it. Their scent is gorgeous, their performance is stunning, and their value is next level, okay? So honestly, if you're going to say to me, which are the best clones of the Invicti range, Fragrance World, hand on heart. Okay, now, so Invictus Victory, which is the one that got me interested in the Invictus lineup, although it's really not anything to do with the original other than the energy. Some time ago we reviewed this one, So this is made by Maison Alhambra. You can see I've used just over half my bottle. This is Victorioso Victory. I then went on to buy the other one that I saw on eBay, which is Victorioso Nero, until I found out that it was exactly the same juice. I kind of thought, because it was a different name, I thought it was Maison Alhambra's take on Victory Elixir, but I was completely misled on that one. It is exactly the same as this one. So I've actually sold my Nero to someone at work who smelt it and went, Leggy, that is awesome. So I sold it, okay. So I've just got the one bottle here, Maison Alhambra Victory. That, my friends, okay, of all the Maison Alhambras, where am I? Got a bit of skin here. Of all the Maison Alhambras, this has got the least chemical, the least sort of nastiness to go through. This, wow, okay, this is ridiculously strong. This is a powerhouse, my friends, and if you have it, you're going to be going nod, nod, nod. Yes, Leggy, you're absolutely right. It's stunning. However, over the time of wearing this and being able to compare it with the original Paco Rabanne, I have come to a sort of a long-term conclusion that with the Victory, the Victorioso Victory, the emphasis is on the incense and the amber. I'm not saying it misses out the vanilla, but it's not an emphasis. Whereas in the original Paco Rabanne, the emphasis is almost even between the amber, the incense and the vanilla. The Maison Alhambra, I say, over time I've noticed it just sort of doesn't emphasise the vanilla. But you know what? Fragrance World have got it absolutely spot on. Now I need to tell you the story behind this bottle, because it's technically not my bottle. But let me spray it first, one way then the other. Now you'll notice that literally that is on dribbles, okay. So my colleague who I work with, he had a birthday about 12 months ago. And I thought, I'll buy him a fragrance, because he's into fragrances. Strange with me banging on about it all the time. Of course he's into fragrances. So I bought him this one, okay? And he opened it, he wore it, and he went, Leggy, that's amazing. Okay, my logic behind it was that I could actually borrow this to do a review. And I wanted to be able to compare it with this one, the Maison Alhambra. Don't tell him, he doesn't need to know that. But anyway, so he pretty much hammered this right down to the dribbles, and then he bought himself another bottle, because here in the UK the 100ml Eau de Parfum on eBay is £18 British. It's a budget, incredible budget fragrance. But then the strange thing was, I had a call from him and he said, Leggy, you know what? He says, that new bottle, he says, you can have it, Leggy. He says, I've gone off it, I don't like it. You can have that brand new sealed bottle. And I went, oh, I'll give you something for it, mate. No, I'll give you. Anyway, next day at work, he brought me the bottle and he said, no, Leggy, just have it, sort of thing. So I inherited his new purchase and he was just going to finish the dribbles. Apparently he'd gone off it. Anyway, I put the box in my wardrobe. I didn't open it because I'm still getting through my Maison Alhambra. But then the crazy thing was, a week later he says, look here, any chance I could have that new bottle back? I says, why? What's up? He says, well, I wore some of that, because he's on the dribbles of this, and his missus, apparently his girlfriend, said, oh, you just smell so good. So he decided he wanted the full bottle unsealed, the sealed, unopened bottle back. So out of guilt, he sort of said to me, well, I'll tell you what, Leggy, he says, you can have the dribbles of this one. So that's how I've got this bottle. Now, there is no chemical, there is no alcohol to go through. But what there is with this Fragrance World is an absolutely perfect take on the original. Not only does it emphasize the amber, not only does it really emphasize the incense, which is what takes this one into a dark place sort of thing, but the Fragrance World emphasizes the creamy vanilla. Now let me try and explain the vanilla to you, because it's not just an ordinary vanilla. Picture if you get a tub of ice cream and it's that sort of truly irresistible, top of the range Madagascan vanilla ice cream. You know, the one with the little sort of black specks in it, which is the vanilla, I guess. If you were to melt that and then pour it over this fragrance, That's what this one is. So at the top, now I've always thought it was a bit of citrus, but actually looking on Paco Rabanne's website, obviously not for this one, but for the original one, it says it's pepper at the top. Now, honestly, that top end is fairly short-lived. It's a bit like a little fizzle. To me, it comes across as like a sort of a dark, sinister lemon sort of thing, but apparently it's a bit of pepper. And then once that's fizzled out, and it doesn't really last long, once the sort of top end's fizzled out in Invictus Victory, you then drop into a situation where there's a ton of amber, but then to either side of the amber there's incense and there's vanilla, and it's almost like the amber is the peacekeeping force and the incense and the vanilla are, I'm not going to say they're exactly at war, but they're certainly competing. And the incense in this one, well, and the original, as I say, they're the same. The incense is desperate to pull this down into a pit of bottomless darkness. But then the creamy vanilla just comes up and says, you know what, we're not going to be totally dark. We are going to have a nice creaminess to it. But you know, throughout all of that, you still have this relentless energy. So whilst this is a very dark sort of fragrance, and for me personally, I can't wear this one in the summer. I find it too heavy with the incense, okay? This realistically for me is suitable for cool weather. Perfect here all year round in the UK, because that's what we have. We have pretty cool weather. Okay, but if you are in a country where it's really hot climate, where you get heat waves and sort of more than sort of 25 degrees, because towards 25 degrees and we're out, okay? If you get more than that, you may just struggle with this one, because it is kind of like a heavy, deep, dark, sinister kind of fragrance. Okay, it's an absolutely gorgeous take on Invictus. Do not expect it to really have anything to do with the original Invictus, but do expect it to take you to an energetic but dark place. Now, in terms of the actual fragrance world, Invicto Victorious, in terms of the scent, spot on. Okay, I cannot find fault. If you'd like me to tell you how long it lasts, on skin, about 2 days. Okay, honestly, I mean, where are we now? It's 9:30 in the evening and I've just sprayed that. Trust me, I'm going to go to bed in a bit. I'll wake up in the morning and on the skin, it will still be there. And probably at lunchtime on Monday morning, it'll still be there. Okay. In terms of projection, this one isn't wild because it's kind of dark. So what it does is it just radiates, but it does that for about 2.5 to 3 hours. It just radiates off you. It's absolutely phenomenal performance. I'll be honest with you, the Maison Alhambra is a stunning performance, but I say over time I've come to the conclusion that's not quite as close to the original as this Invictus, this Invicto rather, because, and I suppose smelling this and I'm going, you know what, there is slight difficulty with the Maison Alhambra. Okay, so this is projecting, no, not projecting, this is radiating off you for 2.5 to 3 hours, sometimes a little bit more, okay? And then it's more of a scent bubble. If you warm up, it still comes off you. It's a scent bubble, reasonable scent bubble for the rest of the days. For the rest of the day. Now, if you get this on clothes, it is there until you wash that item, okay? Trust me, if you buy this Invicto Victorious, trust me, you will not be disappointed, okay? But just be warned, it's only really a cooler weather fragrance. Now, if I haven't answered all your questions on any of the Invictos or any of the Invicti, then drop me a comment. Because I've worn these, you know, sometimes I'll wear them week after week, sometimes I'll wear different Invicto every single day, and I have, my friends, had so much experience with this lineup. If you want to know a particular performance, if you want to know a particular application, when should I wear it, there's a good chance I'll be able to answer your questions, okay? So send me a comment, okay? I'd also appreciate a thumbs up. click on the old thumbs up. If it vibrates, well done. If it doesn't, thank you anyway. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you now. Hopefully I've given you enough information, but I've had a few people message me about this particular one, and like all the fragrance worlds, yes, absolutely stunning. You will not be disappointed, my friends. Okay. And also, if you have any of those and you'd like someone else to see the comments, drop a comment down below. Okay, now I'm going to go. Couple of things. Please come back for the next review, because I would love to see you again. Get the finger in the right place. I'd love to see you again, and thank you ever so much for being at this review and putting up with my waffle on top of waffle. And the next thing, please stay safe. Dangerous world out there. Please try and stay safe. The third thing, it was the third thing, isn't it? I've lost count. Yes, the third thing is, my friends, whichever fragrance you choose, and pick a good one, I'm actually going to wear Invicto. You know what? This is a passion of mine, and being as it's under £15, you should just spray this 25/8. Choose a good fragrance and apply it. Spray it generously over moisturised skin. Haze it onto your clothes. If you're bald, stick a little bit on top. If you've got hair, maybe stick a bit in the hair. Don't blame me if it falls out though. It could happen to mine. Okay, and you will have, my friends, so much better a day. That is a leggy guarantee. Right, I'm going to go now. Take care, stay safe, and never take your finger off that trigger. Goodbye.